Hey beautiful people, my name's Brittany.
And I'm Connor.
And today we are going to be talking about Elimination Communication! EC. This is a highly anticipated video, as I understand it.
Yes, very exciting stuff. I mean, it's always exciting to talk about poop and pee.
Oh, it is.
There are things that Ilya is doing that I just feel are gonna blow your mind, and
yeah, and people
I'm
are so
impressed. And yeah, like I think, you know, we did some research on EC before Ilya was here Earthside, and we were really pumped about it. We really believed in it.
Yeah.
And we've had a different cycle with it than I think we even expected.
Yeah, which is perfect.
But at this point, basically 4 months in, Ilya, we are catching, I would say, most of their pees and poos.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Which catching just means like they're using this little toilet thing and not going in their diaper. There's so many things to say about it.
I know, there's so many things I want to say about it.
Let's hear from you.
Okay, well, first of all, if you're wanting some resources, I would recommend the woman who makes this potty, Andrea from Go Diaper Free. That's where I got a lot of my info up front. She does a podcast. The podcast episodes are really short, and I'll link our favorite one down below.
Yeah, she's very sweet to listen to. I enjoy her podcast.
Yeah, she's great. And so I think a lot of people feel like, well, how do you know when a 4-month-old needs to go? And I think that this really relates to a deeper subject that we talk about, which is just like, there are so many ways we can communicate with each other all the time.
Yes.
And Ilya, we are communicating with Ilya all the time.
And they are communicating with us, and they
Yes.
really know what they want, and they are telling us. We just don't always know what they are saying. But
we're getting better at it.
We're getting better at it.
And they're so patient with us.
They're lovely. Yes.
Because you can tell that they're so intelligent, like giving us really obvious signs. So I'll get into it and tell you a couple like really basic things, which are that there are some key times that it's pretty probable that Ilya is gonna need to go. So transitions are a big one. They wake up, probably need to go. You get like, they nurse, then they probably need to go. You take them, like we take them out of the car seat and get to our next destination, they probably need to go. Anytime that we as humans would normally need to go,
yeah,
they probably need to. And then I'm finding some other really clear ones where like usually Ilya likes to start nursing, and then a couple minutes in, they'll stop. They'll like pull off my nipple. And that is because they need to pee or poop. And that's like a really clear sign. And it's interesting because some people will think like, oh, I'm having trouble breastfeeding or latching and like try to keep their baby like on their boob when they're removing it so that they can do another activity.
Yeah, it makes so much sense.
Ilya also has a noise that they make when they need to pee, and that's so awesome. And it was really funny. Like I heard you yesterday, you're like, oh, you did tell me, I'm sorry. And,
yeah, we were just like standing, they were naked, they were standing on my chest, and I had this little like towel near, like on me just as coincidence, and they were kind of wiggling and making this noise, and I was just kind of like wiggling with them, and then they peed, and I was like, oh, that's the noise, and I missed it. But you did tell me.
Yeah. And I know we said that, you know, we take their diaper off, and a lot of times they are diaper free at home, or sometimes they have it on, and I think you can really do it both ways, whatever works for your lifestyle.
Yeah, but it's amazing how much they don't use their diaper. They wait. And both Bridget and I take Ilya on walks in the morning that range from like 1 hour and 15 up to 2 hours. And oftentimes they won't use their diaper that whole time. And when we get home, we put them on this little potty, they go. And I'm just so impressed because I feel that they very much understand. Like if they're allowed to, if we remember to do it, they will wait. And they're not going to wait forever, but they'll wait, you know? They don't want to be in a wet diaper.
Exactly. That's a natural human instinct to not want to soil ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think now that we're doing it, I notice that like they really are, like if we forget, and they're really signaling and they're really waiting.
Yeah.
And they really want us to help them meet that need. And it's such an empowering way to be connected and for them to feel like, I'm telling you something and you're getting it, and wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then we celebrate it after. You know, we always celebrate it, and we never say things like, oh, that's a stinky poo, or ooh, well, look at how gross that is. We always celebrate it and talk positively about that. And I think that's just another important thing, maybe different video, but really important, that little babies right from the beginning feel like the only thing they make is beautiful.
I love that.
And that's like true for all of us, but I think it's really important to instill that. I wanted to add, you know, just a little bit of history too, because like we had started out right from the beginning wanting to do EC, and we did put in some initial time with it. And we also found that it was kind of impractical. It was just hard. Like mainly them not being able to hold their head up was a big one, and that they were so teeny.
They were like falling in their potty.
Yeah, it was just like, and they didn't like it very much. Sometimes they were like, I don't want to do that.
Upset.
Yeah, so we did kind of like take a step back, and we still looked for signals. We still communicated with them around those times. We still used signaling, which we'll talk about in a second, but we weren't as active as we have been recently. And I would say mainly that was just like head mobility. They can sit quite well on the potty now, and they seem to like enjoy it. So that's our history with it. But let's hear about signaling.
Okay, so when we put them on the potty to pee or poop, we have signs. So the pee one is, and the poop one is.
And they make that noise anyway, so I think that's a natural.
Kind of like pick up on what noise they're making.
And those are things that were just suggested on that same podcast. I think that's the basic signals that she had talked about.
We like it.
Yeah, it works really well. And so whenever we have seen them pee, you know, been able to know like, oh, they're peeing and they're not in their potty, we just make that noise so that they can associate, like, then we can signal them when we put them on the potty, and we can use that same noise. They're like, oh yeah, that noise, that means this thing. Yeah.
And we also have other places that we go with them, mainly just outside, so that they also like have some sort of a relationship with peeing outside in the grass.
Totally.
And I know some people do it differently, like they use the sink or like the big toilet. And I think like all are great options, and mainly we're really enjoying this little potty, which is like a smaller potty than normal. And Andrea from Go Diaper Free has this, I think it's called like Tiny Undies or something. It's a website where you can get potties and tiny underwear because
instead of diapers.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I just totally am 100% convinced that in probably a couple of months, we're going to be doing like 100% EC with maybe like a little every once in a while, you know, we don't catch something.
Yeah.
But I really like, they are amazing. The other day, I mean, it was like 7 or 8 times in one day. And this is becoming more regular, like at least 5 times, 6 times that we're catching, would you say?
Oh yeah, more. Okay. I would say more.
It's pretty amazing. I'm so impressed. I really think it's just like such a wonderful thing to be putting time into.
Yeah.
And of course, we all have different time schedules that we're able to devote to certain things.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not the end of the world if you feel like, I can't do that. That's all good. For us, we have the time, we have the desire, we're excited about it, and so that's, you know, that's what we put our time into.
Yes.
And I think it's a great benefit for Ilya.
Oh, it's a benefit for everyone.
Yeah. But either way, you can always celebrate their poop.
Definitely.
Regardless of, I think that's even more important. I think it's way more important actually than a whole lot of other things.
I think it is
Celebrate that poop.
And I imagine that there'll be lots of follow-up questions, so please do post them down below if you have them. And
please do.
Please do. And maybe we will just do a follow-up video answering
That would probably be the easiest.
Yeah, because, that's why.
That's why. We love you.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Mwah.